Hey guys, hope you're having a beautiful day. Just wanted to jump on here and just say that I've launched a new program. Okay, this one is going to be pretty special because I don't know what to expect. Most people are launching programs left and right to make themselves rich, but I launched a $500 a month program. Well, it's not yet launched. It's going to be launching on March 1st. I just onboarded the first 25 people, the first cohort that's going to actually help me build and refine the program, right? And why did I decide to build it? Because I've been seeing a lot of people push everyone to start these businesses, start an agency, start a consulting business, start a coaching business, start an Amazon FBA business, start a drop shipping business. But I'm like, sometimes it's not worth starting and running a business. It is not worth it, right? And the reason why I say that is because if you could, well, not me, I'm really a natural born leader. So it's like, I got to start a business. I need a business in my life. I have this desire within me to go on private jets and to drive nice cars and to not be limited by financial uh, constraints, right? But even for me to be in the position where I'm at today, I had to learn and acquire skills, and I stacked them one after another, one after another, one after another, until I stacked enough skills that I could leverage and get more people to do some of the things that I'm doing even better than I could do it myself, right? And but in my company right now, I have probably over like five or more people who earn anywhere from six figures to 300, 350K every single year. So you don't have to be a founder to make a lot of money and to also live a good life, right? But I wanted to start this growth specialist.io program because I believe that the reason why a lot more people aren't successful with their businesses is because they lack the foundational skills that make it unreasonable for you not to be successful in any business that you start, right? So my goal is I want to have the biggest impact with this cheaper program, because our main program costs like 15 grand. So that's not necessarily for, I don't even want to get people who are just completely starting out in the main program, because like you're not ready for it. If you're not ready for it, focus on making money. If you're not making six figures, 10 grand a month, then it's not because your offer isn't good. It's not because you don't have an acquisition system. It's because you yourself are not the right character that deserves that kind of money, or you don't have the skills that makes it inevitable for you not to be earning that kind of money, right? So what I want to offer you is the opportunity to come and work with me for the next 6 months in my growth team, where we can actually help you build up the skills, but not only that, allow you to have us pay you for the skills that will help you acquire. That's the beautiful thing about this program, is that if you're really good at what we will be teaching you, we will generally have you work with us with clientacquisition.io, and I'll be paying you as much money as you can, as much based on the value that you can bring in the company. Okay. So I wanted to also add the intro of the program on this in this video. So you guys are going to be able to watch the intro of that program, and where I'll be walking you why I decided to build this program, how much a growth specialist earns, how much I pay my growth specialist. And you're also going to be receiving a link below for the wait list if you want to be part of the next cohort of people who will be joining March 1st. Okay. I'm not teaching people how to start and scale a business in this program. That will be for, if you already have a business and you want us to scale it past 50K per month, 100K per month, then book a call with my team. But for this one, it's for anyone. You don't need to get on a sales call. It will be literally self sign up. You get to choose when you want to sign up. If you don't want to sign up, it's totally fine. It's going to be $500 a month for 6 months. Yeah, so I hope you guys are excited for this, because I'm really excited for this because of how many people we're actually going to be able to help and impact. So yeah, enjoy this video. Bye. Hey. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you're as excited as I am for the next 6 months, because it is about to be a movie, right? I remember when I was just getting started in this online space, and I was just looking for a way to get out of my job, to control. I just wanted to figure out a way to control how much money I made based on my inputs, right? Based on the work that I put in. I realized that the traditional way of making money, which is, go to school, for a decade and then get a degree and then not even get to use the degree because because people aren't actually hiring for the type of skills that we're taught in school or in college or in university. And you end up working with people who have no degrees, right? Because the jobs that are available for most people come with new inventions, new startups that don't really require you to have specific knowledge, because most of the knowledge is taught while you're doing the job, right? So I realized that it doesn't make sense to go work. Didn't want to become a doctor. I didn't want to become a lawyer or things like that. So I was like, how do I achieve it? How do I gain the ability to control how much I earned based on how much work I put in? And I started learning about this online space, and it took me probably 3 years before I could earn my first dollar, right? And the reason why I believe that this program is we're going to have the biggest impact that we've had so far is because I'm creating something that will allow everyone who has the desire to earn money online, earn it as fast as possible, right? So between the time of learning and implementation and earning capital, I want to condense it back to 7 days. Let me repeat that. My goal is to build this training program and allow you to start earning money by the 7th or 10th day of you being in this program. Okay? Why is that important? Because I want you to get paid so that belief that you can actually make this online thing work gets even stronger, right? The biggest issue with most people who fail online is because they never get that first win. That first win that, it triggers something in your mind. I remember when I got my first client online, it gave me the biggest dopamine hit. I still remember it today. I've made 100 grand in a single week. I've made 150 grand in a week, but that never felt as good as that first income, as that first win of getting a stranger to pay me for something that I did from my own creativity, right? And my goal is to get as many people to experience that. I want you to experience that you can actually learn something that's valuable for someone else and go do it for them and get paid according to the value that you're generating, not based on the time that you're selling. Okay? So I hope you guys are excited, because I am really excited to see how much value, how many lives we can change with this growthspecialist.io. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So how to control your earning potential by becoming a growth specialist and solving the most important obstacles that online service businesses face, which is attention and appointments. The goal of this 6 months program is simply to help you figure out one thing, and that is how to become a leveraged appointment setter who's capable of earning $100 for every 25 minutes of focused work. Okay, it's a big importance here. A leveraged appointment setter. My goal is not to. There's so many people out there charging ridiculous amounts of money for programs to become a setter. My goal is not to do any of that. My goal is to make this affordable for anyone who just wants to learn and gain the skill, right? But actually attach leverage to your skill. This is the most important thing. You need to have the skill, but you need also leverage. And this is where I excel at. It's how can we gain a skill, but also attach leverage so we can get 10 times the output compared to just a regular appointment setter who doesn't know how to go and generate attention, right? So yeah, why did I build this training program? I realized that not everyone is meant to start a business. We have in the last 2 years, we've had over 1,200 people, clients who've worked with us. I would say that 80% of them were high ticket, meaning people who've spent 10, 15 grand with us. Okay. And I realized that, not some clients would rather be good just making 10 grand profit every month and not have to start a business. Starting a business is really hard, right? It's really, really hard.
Okay. But I also realized that in 2023, everyone deserves to have the skills and opportunities that allow the relationship between earned money and time invested. You guys deserve that relationship to be asymmetrical, meaning you can invest 1 hour of work but earn more money that's not really related to how much time you put in. Okay. And let me just show you what I mean by that. So most people's careers can be explained by the following formula. There's one input, and by one input, I just mean like one action, right? And then the formula is really simple. They put in 1 hour of work, they get paid for 1 hour of work, right? Meaning, if they put in 2 hours, they'll get 2 hours of outputs, okay? Their goal is to then invest as many units of time as possible. Most of the time, the unit is in time, right? But the thing is, we only have so much time on this planet, right? So if your goal of getting rich is to sell your time, then might as well not be working, because you're selling the most valuable thing. Even if you look at people like doctors, right? They'll work 14, 15, 24 hours, 24-hour shifts. And then by the time, yes, they'll be making 400 grand a year, but they'll get to enjoy that cash, that wealth, when they're like 60 years old or 50 years old or even 45 years old. But then what's it worth having a bunch of millions sitting there when you're 50, when you're 60, when you don't have time? Because this is something that I've learned from making money fast. I've realized that the moments where I'm the most happiest does not come from me like making a lot of money and me like buying stuff. It comes from me being able to be in the present and being able to experience things with the people that I love. So that means that everyone's life purpose should be work really hard, but also get to experience life really hard. But the issue is, if you're having to work 7 days a week, 5 days a week, and waiting for a paycheck and then wanting to sell more of your time, then you're also selling a part of those experiences that you're missing out on. So the number one thing that you need to invest in, and this is for everyone, is an ability to have an asymmetrical return between your inputs and your outputs. You need leverage. You need leverage on your time. Let me repeat this. You need leverage on your time. This is the thing we're not taught in school. The reason why Warren Buffett makes $90 billion without doing anything is because he has leverage. The reason why in the last 5-7 days I've made over 6 figures is because I have leverage, right? Now, I'm not going to show you how to make 100 grand in a week in this program, but my goal is to get you to take your first 2-3 steps into gaining leverage, okay? And growth specialist is an amazing career to start gaining a bit of leverage, okay? So the relationship on your time and output is going to be, is that if you become a growth specialist, you can have one input, 1 hour of time. It is not necessarily going to equal one output every single time. So like, it's not linear, it's asymmetrical. Meaning you can put in 1 hour of work but get 3 times the output. Or you could put like 1 + 1, you could put in 2 hours and get 6 outputs, 6 units instead of 3. So it's like, it's asymmetrical, right? This means that investing as GS, you don't always end up with the same outcome for each unit of time invested in your work. My goal with this program is to get as many people to leverage the skills that a growth specialist has to make their time more valuable and more productive, which is only achievable by delivering an infinite amount of value to the offer that you're working on. What I mean by that is the first step is to train you guys to become growth specialists, to give you guys the skill. But eventually, we're going to also help you get your first offer that you can scale to the moon. Okay? And you're going to use a skill that you're going to get from this program to go into a company, maybe like company like mine, clientacquisition.io. It could be another consulting company. It could be an agency. It could be a coaching business. It could be a SaaS company. It could be a local shop, right? Because now you understand the sales process of things, and now you can come into any business. And that's the thing I want to focus on. Most appointment sitters are trained for one single thing, my goal with growthspecialist.io is to give you guys the fundamentals of sales. So you guys, acquisition and attention and marketing and all that good stuff. So you guys can pick which industry you guys want to work for, and then go in and help these industries innovate and improve their sales processes so they can make more money. Okay. Client acquisition.io's success is fundamentally a byproduct of GS skills, right? When I quit my job in 2020, I realized that it was a nightmare to consistently generate calls from my agency and from all the courses I had gone through. No one really covered this problem of appointment setting or generating attention. I was forced to spend over 9 months learning about outbound prospecting, outreaching, prospecting to cold prospects, which is what that means, from some of the best people in the industry, guys who are making over $1 million per month in revenue and more. And I realized that there was such a knowledge gap in the agency/consulting space, right? Because what I learned from people who really are great at outbound prospecting, I realized that this agency space or this consulting is a start a business online space. They have none of that knowledge, right? And after seeing some inconsistent success with my advertising agency, I decided to double down on my skills of being able to find any type of prospects at scale, regardless of the niche, and my ability to convert them into interested prospects without having to spend money on ads. 3 months later, I was making $10,000 per month with my appointment setting agency. And 3 months after after my first 5-figure months, I was doing $30,000 per month, which was my yearly salary on my last 9 to 5. Okay. Many people don't know this, but the reason why, our company is where it's at today, we're currently, doing anywhere from $300K to $500K in monthly revenue, is that I'm simply propagating the insights of being a growth specialist at scale, hundreds of clients every few months. So I'm using the skill that I have it's the foundation, like the foundation of my skill is just literally being a growth specialist, right? But you can do it at the scale of, having one client, or you can do it at a big scale like I'm doing it, where I've really built an amazing operations, a big team, systems, a leveraged way to propagate my insights and build it into people's companies. And that's why I'm able to do, $500,000 in a month. Okay. So I want you to pay attention to everything that will be shared in this program, because it's the core of my success. And when I cover the evolution of growth specialists, you'll realize that I'm handing everyone who goes through this program and who chooses to evolve to the next stages the key to clearing millions of dollars online. And this is something that is crazy. Everyone who's going through this can generally have the foundation on top of which they can build a multiple 7-figure business. You can make millions from everything you'll be learning here. Okay. Understanding that we may have people joining this program who don't have prior experience when it comes to the B2B space, I'll briefly explain what a sales process is and how important the appointment setting part is within the sales process. So the lifeblood of an online service business, it could be agency, it could be consulting, it could be coaching. But like I said, you can also go and help, brick and mortar businesses, real estate, realtors, all that good stuff. You can really go into any niche, and we can talk about that on some of the calls we have every week. But literally, appointments and sales calls and being able to speak with a prospect is the lifeblood of any business, at least a service-based business, right? If you look at this, let's say a business current state, let's say a business that's doing $240,000 a year, which is $20K per month, that is looking to transition to making over 7 figures a year or $100,000 a month. The difference between this business here and this business here is literally the amount of calls they're generating. Okay? The amount of appointments dictates how much money you make as a business. It's that simple. So how do we actually go from 15 calls per month to 30 calls per month to 60 calls per month, right? Because as we increase this number, the more revenue we can bring to a company. Well, it's pretty simple. The sales process consists of 2 things. The appointment setting process, which is generating attention, creating interest, educating prospects, and converting into a call is the first part, which is here. And the second part is closing and follow up. This is what the sales process is. It's like, how can you get someone to pay attention? How can you create interest within the prospect, and then educate them and then convert them into a sales call? It doesn't matter what business you're doing it for. It's the same thing for every business. Okay. And then the second part of the sales process is closing and follow up. If you don't close, then you follow up until you close a deal, right? We're going to be focusing primarily on the appointment setting process, okay? But we're also going to be covering some closing and things like that, but that's not really going to be our primary focus, okay? But this is it. If you can master this process, you can take any business from 15 calls a month to 330 calls a month to 300 calls a month. Right now, in the last 90 days, we've booked over 1,500 sales calls for our company, right? So we're not just doing 60 calls a month anymore. We're doing 100 calls a week, right? And everything that I'm going to be covering is going to be based on our own success, okay? The responsibility of a growth specialist is to unlock the potential of a business in the most effective way possible, in the most cost-effective way possible. And this is where things get pretty important. A GS is not someone who comes in, like they're not an advertising agency. They're not going to come in and be like, hey, we need to spend 10 grand on ads and you also need to pay me 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand in retainer. No, we can literally come into any business, not ask them for money, and still scale their business to the moon, right? You're going to gain scale and processes that allow you to scale any company without relying on paid advertising. And you'll also be able to generate hundreds and potentially thousands of interested prospects for a business using different workflows that we'll be covering, and also learning how to convert that attention into sales calls, right? The reason why I'm focused on the cost to acquire attention in sales call is because most people are broke, or their business unit economics don't actually work at scale. Meaning, we know that a lot of people on this planet are broke, right? So if we're just trying to start high ticket businesses and high ticket services, we can only sell it to a few people, right? And if we're all selling high ticket, then we're competing for a small, tiny market that is wealthy, but that is actually hard, because then if everybody's going after, then it becomes really competitive, right? So that's the first thing. We know that there isn't, out of, like, let's say the billions and billions of people on this planet, there's maybe a few million people who actually got a lot of money, right? But we can't all go fight for them, right? And the second one is the business unit economics don't actually work at scale. And what I mean by that is that a business profit margins and the different margins they have can't work if you're having to spend on advertising, you're having to spend on retainers, you're having to pay for operations, you're having to pay for all these things. So most businesses, if they try to spend money like crazy on acquisition, they would actually go out of business. They wouldn't be making any profit, which would make their business have no purpose. They would rather shut it down. So it is that by becoming a GS, you're going to be able to come into any business and not care about, how much money, how much profit they're generating, because you're going to be able to generate money out of thin air for them, right? Literally, right? Which makes getting a growth specialist for founders out there a no-brainer offer. This is what I'm trying to confirm. When you do become a growth specialist, you will become a no-brainer offer for most of these businesses. And this is what's going to be really good. And a no-brainer offer just means something that people can say no to, right? What does a superstar GS monthly income look like? So this is Isaiah. Right now I have 3 GSs. I have Isaiah, Zoma, and Chanel. And Isaiah is currently, I think it's 21, 22, I believe. I don't know. But he started working for me 6 months ago. And when he started out, he wasn't really killing it. He was, average, not really succeeding. But then he set out a goal to dominate. And last month, he did 1K plus 5.5K, which is 6,500, and 2 grand. So he made $8,000, 8.5K in a month, right? At 20 something years old, This is crazy. I'm not sure if you guys saw the interview that I had with him, but he's going to be creating training in the program too, going over his routine and everything that he's been leveraging to become a producer, superstar producer, right? But making 80K, I mean, this is six figures, right? Making 100 grand at 20 something, working on your own time is pretty valuable, right? So if you do become a superstar, this is your potential. You can also get to be able to tap into this. Right now, he's just in Hawaii with his girlfriend. I hope they're having a beautiful time. But also we have Chanel. She's from London, and yeah, she's a superstar. And same thing, she did 9.3K last month. So yeah, I just wanted to also share some results from my current team. So I pay my GSs six figures a year, or I'm not paying them. They're producing a lot of value, allowing them to be able to earn six figures a year or more from client acquisition by being part of clientacquisition.io, right? So the goal is, can you go into companies and generate the same value that Chanel and Isaiah are delivering for me? Or you can come, you can potentially also come and work for us, but I'll go over that later on. But there is potential in this. And the beautiful thing is, Isaiah could work from Hawaii. Isaiah could work from Mexico. He could go to Cape Town and work from there. Chanel is in London. We have one call, 15-minute call per day, every 2-3 days, right? These are people who are accountable and who just know what they need to do, and they just go on and do it. Right? I don't have to worry about anything. They have all the freedom that they need to do whatever they want, as long as the work gets done, as long as the results are there, right? So yeah, I won't make this video too long. I'll just go cover the rest in the next few videos. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this this training. Take care. Bye-bye.